Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee and it's rainy and not cold. It's like 65 degrees outside, but it's raining and windy and there's nothing I need to do out there. My greenhouse is all set, so we're going to do some baking today for the market stand. I need to make cookies. And each time I make cookies out there, I always experiment. I always look for a nice recipe that I can try out there, something that is, budget friendly so that I can keep my cookies cheap. And they also tell me what's the hot seller, So I don't want to call them my guinea pigs, but they tell me, because if something is good, it flies off the shelf. If it's not, it stays there. So far, everything I've put out there has flown off the shelf. But today we're going to make two things. We're going to make Lunch Lady chocolate chip cookies, and we're going to make the Lunch Lady peanut butter cookies. I usually make the jumbo peanut butter, but we're trying two different recipes today. And that's probably all we're going to do today for this video, is just bake cookies. And as you can see, friends, I got my trusty old KitchenAid. This KitchenAid is 23 years old. And 23 years ago, I paid $279 for this KitchenAid. And I thought that was just nuts, So it's small. It's only got, maybe a 5-quart bowl to it. I need the Big Daddy bowl because I do a lot. Well, the other day, I was in the midst of a video, and yes, I trashed the video because I trashed everything. My big mixer, now I go through mixers, and really I should consider an industrial or a commercial mixer because that's what I need for what I do. But the other day, friends, I was doing a video and we were having just a ball, I was making my big batch brownies, though I've made them many times before. It was working just fine. My other mixer, my Cookly, was working just fine. I turned it off because the last thing I needed to add into my big batch brownies, and I had a double batch in my mixer, was the butter. And it required, because it's a double batch, it required 2 pounds of melted butter, which is a lot. So, no, 4 pounds, excuse me. I had 4 pounds because I had a double batch. Each batch requires 2 pounds. I stopped the mixer, I put that all in there, and I turned it on low like I do the stir, just one, and it went everywhere, friends. It went like high speed, and I had butter everywhere. I probably still got on my ceiling and my light, I had butter dripping off my face, dripping out of my hair. I had butter everywhere. And I lost my bearings. Oh my goodness, there's no way I could ever put that video up because I had some words fly out of my mouth that I've never even heard. So, needless to say, that one was all done. And when I emptied it, took it all apart, I turned it on, and no matter what speed I turned it to, it was a high speed. Like number 10 on your mixer, just high speed, no matter where I turned it. So needless to say, that's in the dump. And I got another one coming because I'm humming and hawing. I procrastinate when it comes to stuff like that. I'm terrible with that because I don't want to spend that extra money. It's like, what if I spend this $500 on this mixer that I need, And it's from Vivor. I'm looking at it. It's from Vivor. It's a 15-quart mixer, perfect for what I do. But it's $543, and I think, gosh, that's perfect for me. But what if I spend that money and it doesn't last more than a couple years? That's a waste. So I hum and haw over that, right? Yes, I will buy it eventually. And too bad the company wouldn't, or my Costway, who has one as well, too bad these companies wouldn't give me one of them to review and check out. But that's all right. I'm not greedy. I will buy it, but it's going to be probably a little while, maybe a couple years. I got another one coming, not a Cookley, a different one that's 9.5 quart mixer. And we'll use that for a couple. I think that Cookley lasted me 2 years. Well, pretty good for what I run them through the mill, I'm telling you. So we will get one. And eventually. But for right now, that one will be here on Thursday. I wanted to wait. I was hoping it would come before so we could do that, but that's all right. This little guy, he'll do okay. We can only do single batches. So let's get cooking. Our lunch lady chocolate chip cookies. Beautiful. We need to set our oven to 375 because you don't need to chill these apparently. Okay, that's going. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our butters. Right there. And I'll put the amounts in the bottom under the video. I'm not doubling this, but I'll put the amounts down under there. And we got our Crisco here. I'm using the butter flavored Crisco. You can use any kind you want. You can use the plain, but I'm using the butter because it's cookies and I think it would be better. Everything's better with butter. Okay, so we got that. We'll set that aside. Okay, so now we're going to need maybe brown sugar. Yep. We're going to need brown sugar and white sugar. Okay. We're going to need 1.25 cups of brown sugar. So there's our 1/4 cup. And there's our 1 cup. Beautiful. This can go over here, out of our way. And then we're going to do, what is this? 1/2 cup of sugar, regular sugar. All right. That's that. I'm not going to put these away. I'm just going to get them out of our way. Okay, so with that, we're just going to cream these together. And this mixer is very, very quiet. We're just going to let that cream together for a little while. And then we're going to add our eggs. And you know what? I'm going to start cracking them eggs because those are my chicken eggs. And I want to make sure that they're all good. Alright, that's good. It's going in the sink. We're going to put that right in there. These eggs are enormous. But it calls for 3 eggs. We'll put that in there. And we got our last egg. Okay. Perfect. Let that go for a minute. We're going to put 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla in here, which is like a 1/2 tablespoon. And we're going to add our 1 teaspoon of salt. Is it 1 teaspoon of salt? No, 3/4. Ooh, I'm glad I looked at that. Okay, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to mix that up in there. And I added that because my butter is unsalted. If your butter is salted, just skip that part. Okay, now with that, we're going to shut this off for a minute because that's whipped beautifully. We're going to put in our 3 1/4 cups of flour. Where is my cup? There it is. That's the only thing I miss about my big mixer is I can't do double batches. That's 3.25 cups of flour. I think I added the quarter. No, I didn't. And if I did, well, we're getting another quarter. I don't remember if I did or not. I added the salt. We're going to add 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm just taking all the lumps out of it. Okay, beautiful. All right, we're going to put this down, lock it in, and we're only going to put this on low. I'm just going to set this all aside because we'll use it all for our peanut butter cookies and the eggs. I'm not going to put nuts in these. I put nuts in the last bunch and they sold pretty good, but now I'm going to give, not everybody can eat nuts. This is wonderful. This mixes up beautifully. All right. Look at that gorgeous. We're going to put this in there. Because sometimes this recipe calls for nuts, but I'm not going to put it in. I'll do it the next batch. Because I'll make 2 batches of these. I'll do one with nuts, one without. Now, we're just going to turn this just on stir. Let that mix that all around beautifully. Look at that. Nice looking or what? Wow, get up here. There we go. That's good enough. Okay, these are beautiful. And yes, these, I'm going to bake every one of these off because I have no cookies whatsoever out in my market stand. They wiped them out last week. And then my machine broke. Well, I did get my brownies done. Though I had butter everywhere. I added an extra stick of butter to make up for what was all over the walls and myself. And I did get them done, and it still turned out good. I'll use this size, and then you know what I'll do? I'll just put 2 cookies in one package. Now while these are baking off, come on, we'll be able to put the peanut butter cookies together while we're baking these because the peanut butter cookies will need to chill some. I think I might chill these a little bit too. Just stick them in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Because these are pretty creamy and they might just spread all over this pan. Though the recipe didn't say to chill them, I think I might anyway. If you like thin, crispy cookies, don't chill them. But I think these are going to get chilled. So, I'll do this one and then I'll run these into the freezer. And we'll just leave them there for about 15 minutes. I usually package these 2 cookies in a package. And I sell them for $1.50. Just like I do the brownies. But the brownies are nice. One nice great big brownie. Alright. I'm going to go run these out to the freezer. And then I'll get a reset in here and we'll work on the peanut butter cookies. Well, okay, friends, I am all done baking. I baked off all those cookies. I made a double batch. I made another batch, and I put nuts in the second one. So now, we're going to get to these Lunch Lady peanut butter cookies. I think these are going to be wonderful. Again, I can't double this recipe because My mixer I have is too small. But I have everything I need to make 2 batches. And that is most likely what I'll do. All right, so I put in my cup of butter. Now I'm going to add 1 1/4 cups of peanut butter to that. I'm just using a creamy peanut butter. All right, perfect. We're going to do 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar. So there's 1. Oh no, that's a 1/2 cup. There's my 1/4. I need another 1/2 cup. I'm glad I caught that. All right, there's 1 1/4 cups of brown sugar. Now we're just going to do 3/4 cups of white sugar. All right, there's 3/4 cups of white sugar. That's all we're going to put in here for right now. And we're going to mix this. We're just going to let that mix. That was always a thing that I didn't like about this KitchenAid mixer. Was stuff would gather on the bottom so easy and you couldn't get it up. I was always in forever. And my other one, my Cookley, didn't do that. Even though I would stop and I'd have to scrape the sides down, but it's like nothing really gathered on the bottom like this one did. Okay, now to that we're going to do 2 large eggs. Put them in my chicken bucket. I feed them back to my chickens. All right, there's my 2 eggs. Going in. We're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. So that would be a 1/2 tablespoon. I can't believe that the 23 years old and still going pretty strong. That's just amazing. We're going to do 2 cups of flour. This doesn't call for any salt. Okay, because there's lots of salt and peanut butter. Okay, so we are going to add 2 cups of flour. There we go. And we need 1 teaspoon of soda. A tablespoon. We got 1 teaspoon right here. We're going to put, I don't have my little mesh screen handy. Otherwise I'll run it through my little screen to take all the clumps out. But I got them. Okay. And friends, that's how easy it is to put these peanut butter cookies together. We're just going to let that mix up before I turn it up. These would be good to add some chocolate chips to as well, or some crushed up peanuts. That would be a good thing too, but I'm just making these plain. Perfect. That's all it took. Oh, that's a nice dough. Okay, friends. Now, with these, I'm going to just scoop these out, and like I did the last bunch, just put them in the freezer for about 10 minutes or so. Then they won't spread out all over. And then after they're chilled a little bit, then I need to fix that. And I can take and make my crisscross pattern in them once they're chilled. So I'm gonna go put these in the freezer, and in about 10 minutes, I'll bring you back and we'll do the crisscross pattern and we'll get them in the oven. We're gonna go ahead, these were froze. Not froze, but they're very well cooled, you can see that. And we're gonna put our marks in these, and I know I could use, you know what, I'm gonna spray this. Good enough. There we go. And these are going to bake at 350 degrees for 12 to 13 minutes. And if I didn't tell you about the chocolate chip cookies, those bake at 375 for 10 to 12 minutes. But I found that they look a little more appealing when you go that extra minute. So I did mine for 13 minutes. And then it gave them just enough brown to be, you know, browned but not burnt looking. All right, let's move that up. These are going in the oven, 350. Now we're gonna set our timer, and I'll see you when they're done. Well, there you have it, friends. This is how I bake and package my cookies for my market stand. I have them 2 in a pack, and I sell them for $1. That's simple. And they fly off my shelves. But I saved one for us to try. Those are gorgeous. The peanut butter cookies turned out beautiful, see? Nice in a package. And nothing's anemic. I don't like anemic looking cookies. But wait till you see these. Look at, friends, how nice those are. Mmm. And these are soft. Mmm. I need a cup of coffee with this. This is delightful. That's a good recipe. Both of them. I have plain chocolate chip cookies right here. That was the one I showed you, the plain. I have chocolate chip with nuts, walnuts. And then I have the peanut butter. These are all the lunch lady recipes. They're wonderful. I'll put the recipe in the description box under the video for both of these. I hope you give them a try, friends. They're wonderful for a bake sale. I know these are going to fly off my shelves because they are good. You all have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out with me in the kitchen while we bake for the market stand. I'll see you in the next video, friends. And as always, thanks for watching.